Hello, hello, hello. So I was gonna do like a personal attention style video. I'm gonna be scratching and brushing. I want to test out this 360 audio thing, if it actually works or not. Can you hear it if it's above? I mean behind you like this. Can you hear it if it's above you? In front of you? I'm not sure. You'll let me know. I got a poetry book, by the way. Yesterday I released a video of me reading poetry. A little info card. I always forget to add the info card, and then I remember after the video's already been published. So hopefully I will add the info card after I finish filming this video and I upload. But yeah, I filmed a video of me reading poetry. If you wanna check out some samples of my poetry, watch this video that popped up just now. That was like 1 minute thing. Yeah, the book has got 40 love poems. It's called Many Shades of Flowers. And I'm looking forward to the day that it starts selling. Well, I'm so excited, guys. I believe it will. I believe it'll pick up steam and eventually start making me a ton of cash. And I'm looking forward to that day, and I'll write another one and another one and another one, and it'll be my thing. I'm very excited. So go check that out. Give me 5 stars. I really appreciate a 5-star review. Rating rather. Yeah. I just watched Rick Ross get absolutely jumped. He was at Toronto doing a show, and I think his DJ played Not Like Us by Kendrick, and people were not happy. Got jumped, dude. One guy got knocked unconscious. His body was limp. It actually looked a bit scary for a while. People were like, is he dead? They had to carry him away. I don't condone violence. I think violence is very ugly. It doesn't matter who's coming from. I think Rick Ross is a moron, and he's trying to embarrass Drake in his own city, I guess. I don't know. And he plays stupid games, he wins stupid prizes, right? But at the same time, violence is very ugly. And violence begets violence. You know, when they wanted to arrest Jesus, Peter, one of his disciples, cut off the ear of one of the soldiers that had come to arrest Jesus, and Jesus rebuked Peter. He said, if you live by the sword, you die by the sword, and then he healed the soldier's ear. And that's a lesson, because it doesn't matter what they're doing to you, man. 2 wrongs don't make a right? Violence begets violence. Vengeance belongs to the Lord. So when you're living your life holding a grudge, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. So I fear for those guys when they do stuff like that, like beating up prominent figures like Rick Ross, because, you know, he's very rich, he's very powerful. He can pay people to get retribution on his behalf, you know? You don't want to walk around looking over your shoulder. You don't know who's going to roll up on you at any point, whatever. It's not a good life to live. Gangsterism is ugly, and it's dark. That's the issue with hip-hop, all this gangster stuff. Do not condone it. But again, I don't feel sorry for Rick Ross for what happened to him, because he's an idiot. If you just think about what Drake has done for his career, bro, the lack of gratitude is unbelievable. It's genuinely shocking. Like, this business is full of snakes. And it goes to show that in life, never assume that everyone's buddy-buddy with you. A lot of these people are in it for what they can get out of it, and they're not really your friends. And especially at that level. It's just business to these people. There's no sense of loyalty at all. It's disgusting. It really is. It's gross. You know, I was thinking about the whole Kendrick thing and the double standards, right? The stuff that Kendrick is allowed to get away with, it's genuinely mind-boggling. So it came out that Kendrick has been using bots to get streams for that song Not Like Us, And we know this because this kid, he's a minor, by the way, did an interview with DJ Academics saying that, look, I wouldn't have done this interview, but Kendrick's manager reached out to me to get bots for Kendrick. This is what I do. I'm known for this. I've been paid in the past to do this job. I farmed 30 million bots for Not Like Us to boost this. So how it works is how these artists, and a lot of artists do this, by the way. The rapper Russ went on the Flagrant podcast, Flagrant with Andrew Schulz. The rapper Russ went on the Flagrant podcast and talked about how a lot of people's favorite artists are using bots. They're faking the streams. Probably your favorite artist is doing it as well. It's like it's almost the entire industry, mainstream industry. And you're saying how it works is you get those initial streams, like a lot of streams, and what that does is it makes people think your song is bigger than it actually is, and then people tune in to see what's going on. And if there's something there, if there's some quality of the song that's nice, it'll pick up steam and then continue, right? But a large chunk of those streams are not genuine. It's manufactured. It's manufactured hype. So a lot of these songs wouldn't be as big as they are. A lot of these artists wouldn't be as successful as they are if they weren't farming streams. And Russ was talking about that. He was talking about how the industry's corrupt. And he's independent, he doesn't play these games. So he might not chart as highly as other artists. He might not get as many streams. But then you pull up to a Russ show, and it's packed. I went to a Russ show here in South Africa. Let me tell you something, guys. So this was last year, I think, either early this year or last year. I can't remember when this was. At Monte Casino, he showed up and did a show. Guys, this is South Africa. This is the opposite end of the world from where he's from. He's from America. South Africa is literally at the bottom of the world. He came here, and I was shocked by the amount of people that knew every lyric to every song. People were singing the lyrics word for word. The crowd was, and it was packed. It was an open venue. It was outside, so but it was a lot of people. It was a lot of people, and they all knew his lyrics, and I was shocked by the fanfare this guy has. He recently did a show at a stadium in the States. It was a venue that Future and Metro Booming had also booked. They had done a show there previously, and they failed to book that to sell out the show. They failed badly to sell out that show. And people were talking about it like, wow, why didn't they sell out the show? Why did they sell so little tickets? All this sort of stuff. Russ, on the other hand, who's not as big of an artist, at least in the eyes of the public, managed to sell out that exact same venue. So he sold more tickets. So people were like, this doesn't make sense because Russ isn't as big of an artist. He's not as well. How is he selling out more tickets than them, than Future and Metro Booming combined? And the answer is very simple, guys. These people are faking their streams. All of these guys, faking their streams. It's a deeply corrupt industry. And several people have been trying to call this out for years now. Drake has called it out. J. Cole has called it out. Russ has called it out. A lot of independent artists have called it out. These people are faking their streams. So the Kendrick, going back to Kendrick, this kid was saying, I farmed 13 million bots for Kendrick Lamar to boost it in the algorithm. And also during the beef, when Kendrick was dropping those videos on YouTube, 616 in LA and Meet the Grahams and stuff like that, him and Drake were kind of dropping back to back, like back and forth. So Drake would drop a song, and he would drop before Kendrick, right? Like hours before Kendrick in some cases, and then Kendrick would drop, and then his song would get like millions and millions of more views. But Drake would be on the trending chart, but Kendrick wouldn't be on the trending chart. And the reason for that is, how that works is, YouTube does not recognize, if YouTube can't verify your streams, if it can't verify where your views are coming from, like if it's coming from real people or not, it won't put you on the trending chart. So even though Kendrick had more views, he wasn't trending, which led people to believe this guy is using bots. So that was the first sign of something fishy going on. So this was before this kid came out. And then this kid came out and said for Not Like Us, he farmed 30 million bots. And then when he requested payment for the job he'd done, they paid him part of the fee, and he provided bank statements, right, as evidence with Kendrick's manager's name in the statement. So there's evidence that this actually happened. He's not lying. Kendrick's manager's name was on the statement. So obviously you can't doctor that. You can't make that up because it's a payment coming in with the reference from the other person. So it was Kendrick's manager, right? And he got part of the payment, but the kid was like, they didn't pay me in full, and I was asking for my money. And when I kept asking, they kept refusing. Eventually, they told me they're going to kill me if I threatened to go out and expose them. He said this, and he said the only reason he's doing a public interview is because he's scared, and they threatened to take his life. This is a child; he's underage. So Kendrick's entourage threatened to kill this kid because he was like, if you don't pay me, I'm gonna expose you. And everyone's quiet about it. No one's like, oops. No one's talking about it. I'm like, this is dark. So this guy's not only faking his streams, which is by itself whack as hell, he's threatening to kill kids. But no one's going to care. They're just going to make excuses for him. Guys, the evidence is there. You can listen to the interview. This kid was genuinely scared. He's also like, it's kind of whack for participating in this immoral behavior. Like, faking all that stuff is bad. It's bad for the genre. Rap is supposed to be competitive, but when everyone starts cheating to get ahead, it ruins the sport. It's like if it's the equivalent of someone taking performance enhancing drugs in combat sports. You're cheating. It's not legitimate. Your victory is not legitimate. But clearly, some of these guys have a win by any means necessary mentality. They don't care about honor. They don't care about respect. None of that stuff. So yeah, and you know what he said? Because people might say Drake is probably using bots too. What this kid says, he's part of a network of these bot farmers, right? They all work together. And he said, of all the people he's worked with, he doesn't know anyone that's ever worked with Drake. Ever. And if you notice, like with Drake's, so Drake, with Views and Scorpion. So Scorpion was 2018, Views was 2016. Those were his highest selling albums in recent memory. Everything else he's released since then has done well. Certified Lover Boy did like 600,000 sales first week, and you get 400,000 sales first week here and there. But he's not like doing like 1 million. He's not doing 800,000, 900,000. And he might be number one for a week, but then someone else would take his place. So he's charting realistically for someone his size, especially in an age this competitive where everyone's always dropping every week. He's doing realistic numbers for him, right? When he dropped Family Matters, it debuted at number 7. It's a 7-minute and 40-second song or something like that. Makes sense. It might not go number 1. It's 7 minutes. People don't want to listen to a 7-minute song. It wasn't meant to be this chart topper. It was a rap beef. It was a contest of lyrics. But because it's Drake, he'll chart obviously in the top 10. Kendrick went number 1 because of bot farming. And that kid exposed him. He said as much, and he provided evidence, and no one cared. That's when I realized that this is a rap. On the Joe Budden podcast, Joe Budden said everyone knew that in this beef, Kendrick was going to have to use bots. Like, it was obvious he was going to have to use bots to win against Drake, but it's just war. This is what you do in war. You win by any means necessary. Basically, is what you're saying. And that's when people are like, you know what? These Kendrick fans cannot be reasoned with, dude. Like, we should be calling this out. If Drake was genuinely doing like some sketchy bot farming, yada yada yada, I'd also say like it's unacceptable, it's whack, and I have no rebuttal. I've got egg on my face. I look stupid for supporting him. Da 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 da. I don't care. I've been very critical of several things Drake has done. I can lay them out again for you if you want. Like, I've been critical of how he associates himself with these gangsters, these thugs, who are no good. And look, they all turned on him. Surprise, surprise, they don't have morals. Surprise, surprise, who would have thunk it, right? I've been very critical of that he's promoting degeneracy when he does songs with these people. These are, in my opinion, aren't great people. All of them turned on him. Every single one of them turned on him. This industry is dark and is dirty. And for a long time now, I've been saying, I wish he wouldn't do songs with these people. Why is he doing songs with Sexy Red? She's a degenerate. She's going to schools and twerking in front of kids. She's a pervert. And like, while she's pregnant, she's out here posting sexually suggestive photos online and all this. I'm like, why would you associate yourself with someone like that, right? I've been very critical about Drake, and there's video evidence of that on my channel. It would be hard to find it because there's hundreds of videos, but yeah, I'm not shy to criticize him, but what I've noticed with a lot of Kendrick fans, they can't say anything bad about this guy, no matter what he does. In 2014, there was a massive story of him beating a woman in a club, and multiple people said they saw him. And there were multiple news articles about it, and they were all removed from the internet. They were forced to remove those articles. There was a video of a woman who worked at that club saying, I didn't see it myself, but people I worked with said they saw Kendrick. There was a video of her saying this, right? All of that stuff was scrubbed from the internet. And now, so it lent credence to when Drake now comes out and says, this guy's beating his wife. Because there's been rumors of him doing this in the past. It's different from Kendrick saying, oh, Drake is a pedo because he texted Millie Bobby Brown and Billie Eilish. They had text conversations. I guarantee you, so if we use the Millie Bobby Brown example, I'm sure she's texting Henry Cavill when she was shooting a movie with him. I'm sure she's texting a bunch of adult male stars in the Hollywood scene. That's not evidence of any wrongdoing. But people are stupid. So they'll jump onto any narrative and be willing to ruin someone's life over nothing. And when he was 23 in 2010, Drake kissed the 17-year-old girl when he was on stage. Which, like, I'm not condoning that, but at the same time, it's not serious. People pretend to be mad at that. They're not mad at that. No one was mad when Taylor Swift was around the same age. I think she was 22 or 23, and she was in a full-on relationship with John Mayer. This stuff has always been happening. These days we're more sensitive, but you can't hold someone by the standards of 2010, dude, in 2024. It was a different time. Stop acting mad. You're not mad. It's not that deep. There's no real evidence of any sort of pedo behavior. It's just that people are vicious. The internet is a vicious place. And people will latch on to all sorts of narratives regardless of whether they're true or not. But in Kendrick's case, there's genuine evidence that this guy threatened to kill a minor because he refused, because the minor was demanding payment for bot farming for him. He provided the statements. At the very least, he should be taking that seriously and inquiring as to what's happening here, but no one's doing that. In fact, they're saying, the game is the game. You win by any means necessary. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. If it turns out that Drake is really this pedo, I'll denounce him. I'm not afraid to do so. But again, if he was this Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, do you know how many people will be coming out against him as we speak? if there was any moment to come out against Drake, it would be now. But Millie Bobby Brown, Billie Eilish, that girl from 2010, they've all defended him. That girl from 2010, she said, guys, I'm 30 something now. I've got this job. I'm currently doing my exams for this thing. I'm in a relationship. No one cared back then and no one cares now. Please drop this. This is not a real issue. That's what she said. She issued that statement during the whole beef. Millie Bobby Brown and Billie Eilish, during that whole fiasco, like this was years ago, they said, like, there's nothing weird going on here. So in Billie Eilish's case, she said, he just said he's a fan of my music and we're talking about music. In Millie Bobby Brown's case, she said we're talking about the industry and I asked him for boy advice. And people said that's pedo behavior. Okay. Guys, just think about the logic, right? Millie Bobby Brown asks Drake, hey Drake, I'm seeing this boy. Can you give me advice? Drake gives her advice. Therefore, he is a pedo. Is that how it works? These people are dumb, bro. You can't ruin someone's life over that. Like, what's wrong with people? I don't understand. Again, I have no interest in protecting genuine predators. But here's the issue, guys. When everyone's a predator, it's hard to identify actual predators. So when you're throwing around this pedo title so loosely, you know what happens? You normalize the environment, like you normalize that word, and people become desensitized to it, right? What happens is now when it's the story of the boy who cried wolf. He keeps pranking the elders. Hey, there's a wolf, there's a wolf, there's a wolf. And they take him seriously the first few times. But now he keeps saying it, they stop taking him seriously. So now when he comes and he cries wolf again, they're like, he's lying. But this time there's an actual wolf. And then the wolf comes and eats everyone. It's the same thing here. You keep calling people pedos when they're not pedos. Then when someone says, hey, there's an actual pedo, people will be like, no, you always say that. Meanwhile, in that one instance, that was actually happening. Stop. Like, actually stop. It's not funny. It's not... You can't throw around these are serious accusations. People need to stop throwing them around so loosely. You can't use that as a weapon in an argument, in a debate, just because you don't like someone. You can't weaponize that word. Because real people get hurt in real life as a consequence. It's the same thing with like the Me Too movement when they started accusing guys of dumb shit. He R-worded me, R-A-P-E. When nothing of the sort happened, like women would just come out and make all of the crazy accusations, only to find out that she was lying or she was exaggerating. And then people became desensitized. Now we're in a sort of environment where when a woman makes an accusation, they don't take her seriously. Because how do we know? Because all these girls are always making crazy accusations, left, right, and center. You need to stop using these words so flippantly. But like I said, in the case of Kendrick, there's legitimate evidence that he might have threatened to kill a minor. Or his team did at least. And no one cares. It shows that these people don't actually have morals. They don't actually have principles. If it came out that Drake actually did some stuff like that behind closed doors, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, nah. But you'd have to show evidence. You have to show evidence, and then I'll be like, okay. For example, they'll say things like Drake killed XXX Tentacion. There's this rumor that he did so. Show the evidence. I don't think that's good. I think that's dark, and he should be in jail for that if he did do that. That's genuinely evil. If you did that, I'll be the first to say it. That's you can't kill someone over music or whatever issues you have. It's not worth it. And I'll be the first to say you should be in prison. But there's no evidence. I think it's a made up rumor. People are just ridiculous, and they'll accuse a man of anything these days. The internet is full of unhinged people. People are insane. I think more than likely what happened with XXX Tentacion, he was involved in street activity. He was involved in gang activity. More than likely, what happened to him is what happens to all these gangsters. Someone he had beef with rolled up and shot him. Like, oftentimes, the most simple explanation is the actual explanation. More often than not. You don't need to go into these convoluted conspiracies. Drake paid someone to kill XX. Well, when you're that rich and powerful, you shouldn't be moving like that, drawing so much attention to yourself. It's genuinely stupid. But yeah, anyway, it's a ridiculous rumor. It's absolutely ridiculous. But again, with the Kendrick thing, this kid came out and said it. If maybe he's an actor, he's lying. It's possible. But I think we should take it seriously because he sounded... This thing keeps falling. My bad. He sounded scared. Like, you should listen to the interview. He genuinely sounded scared. Like, these people threatened to kill him. I don't think that's funny. But Kendrick can get away with so much. It's genuinely insane, dude. The stuff this guy's allowed to get away with. But again, the people that support him clearly have no morals, no principles. I saw a tweet. This tweet went viral of this girl saying, even if Kendrick does beat women, I'll still support him. So what now? Like, that's what she said. It's like, so what? He beats women, I'll still support. That's when I was like, nah, yeah. Kendrick fans are tapped, dude. They're tapped. But it makes sense. Because if you look at the guy they're supporting, he's also like very shifty, morally dubious. You just look at his history, the rumors surrounding him, and now this whole bot farming thing. There's too much evidence, guys. There's too much evidence. This guy is almost certainly using bots. Almost certainly using bots. I talked about how he'd have more views, but he wouldn't be on the trending list. That only ever happens when YouTube cannot verify your streams. That's the only reason that you can have more views, but the other guy's trending ahead of you. Because YouTube failed to verify your streams. And a whole child came out and said, I farmed bots for Kendrick Lamar, 30 million bots, and he threatened to kill me because he didn't want to pay me. Well, his team threatened to kill me because they didn't want to pay me. Man. But you know what I think? I think time reveals all. Time reveals all things. And Kendrick is riding a high right now, you know? His fans are celebrating, He's shooting the Not Like Us music video. By the way, he had kids in his video shoot talking about OVO, and it was so weird because it's like all this pedophile stuff, and he's got kids in the video dancing, and in some cases, some of these kids were like doing some very inappropriate dances for that age. I don't know why this guy gets away with this sort of stuff. Is it not weird? It's weird. Anyway, we'll see if any of that makes it into the final video. But the fact that he did it, even the fact that he even thought about doing that is disgusting. But yeah, we know by now that this guy, he walks on water, he's above criticism, he can get away with literally anything. But I believe over time, the truth will come out, and we'll see. We'll see who's really on top when everything is said and done. I don't think it's possible to be moving the way he's moving and not implode. I really don't think it's possible. I think everything will fall apart gradually. I think news will come out about him. I think that bitterness he holds towards Drizzy, because remember, Drake took this guy on his first tour, world tour, in 2012, 2011, the Club Paradise tour. that benefited his career immensely. No one knew who Kendrick was at that time. Drake was already the biggest rapper in the world. He took Kendrick on a tour across Europe and America. Thousands and thousands of people got exposed to this guy for the first time because of Drake. That boosted his career, and then Drake gave him a spot on the Take Care album, and then Drake featured on his album as well, A Good Kid, Mad City. Like, the lack of gratitude from all these guys is disgusting, man. It's genuinely disgusting. And I believe this guy has bad karma on him. You can't do shit like that and do not pay the price. I don't believe that's how the world works. We'll see. And I could be wrong. But remember these words. Remember this little monologue I had. It could be a few months from now. It could be a year from now. I don't think it'll take that long. I think very soon we'll start to see things unravel, but we'll see. It'll take however long it takes. But I think all Drake needs to do, he did his job. He participated in the battle. He dropped his songs. People say what they had to say. Let it play out over time. He just needs to keep dropping songs, keep dropping hits. He's not bot farming, which already puts him in the moral high ground, right? There's no evidence of him doing so, but there's a lot of evidence that Kendrick is bot farming though. And think about this as well. This is the crazy thing. Drake is far, far bigger than Kendrick, just overall, streaming wise. If you look at his overall numbers, it's not even close. It's not even a little bit close. It's embarrassing. I saw a picture where they were counting like the platinum plaques between Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. Kendrick's at the bottom of that list. Cole has more platinum plaques than Kendrick. Cole, I strongly doubt Cole is bot farming. He was one of the first people to call this out. Drake and Cole have been calling this out for years, saying that people are faking their streams. So I strongly doubt that J. Cole has been bot farming. But he's got more platinum plaques than Kendrick. Drake has almost triple the amount of platinum plaques Kendrick has. It's a lot. I can't remember the exact number. And then Cole has a bit more than Kendrick as well. So even the public perception of Kendrick is skewed. Like, it's like he's not as big. He's not that guy. But time will reveal. Oh, maybe he is, and I'm wrong, and I'm an idiot. We'll see. Time reveals all things. I'm just saying it's impressive that Drake has done what he's done without relying on these cheap tactics, paying people to farm bots for him. It's disgusting. It's cheating. And a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are doing it because they feel like that's the only way they can get ahead in this industry, because things have become so competitive in this modern era. So many people are dropping music every day. So to get ahead, people are employing all sorts of cheap tactics to win. But it's not sustainable, and in the long term, it'll bite you in the ass when you get exposed. And we're seeing that with Future and Metro Booming. They do a show together, and they fail to outsell Russ, an independent artist who doesn't chart anywhere near them. It's embarrassing, and people realize what's going on. They realize that you're a fraud, and that you're not nearly as big and impactful as you pretend to be. The people that do things the right way always win in the end. So a lot of people are laughing at Drizzy now. I think he'll have the last laugh when all is said and done. You know, the same thing happened with Michael Jackson and Prince during their whole beef. When Michael Jackson was in his prime, people love Michael Jackson now, like the music, and they call him the king of pop now. During his prime, people would say he's just a pop star, he doesn't make real music, and Prince is the real artist. Now, years later, I guarantee you, if you were to ask people to name one Prince song, the average person, they can't do it. I can name Purple Rain. That's literally, and that, I think that's an album I think it's an album and a song. I'm not sure. Purple Rain, I know. I don't know anything else from Prince. And most people can't even name Purple Rain. the average person. But if you existed during that time when at the height of Michael and Prince's beef, people would have sworn Prince is this deity and he's way better than Michael. Well, time reveals all. If all of that arguing and debating doesn't mean anything, if at the end of the day one person's songs fade into obscurity and the other person's songs survive the test of time and get more popular as time goes on. Everyone can name at least one Michael Jackson song, if not more than that. People know Michael Jackson. So I think the same thing with Jay-Z and Kendrick, because people like to be contrarians and act like they're so hip and different. Because some, it's uncool to support the popular guy, right? The guy that's doing well. It's uncool, so you support the other guy. So they'll be like, Kendrick's better. Kendrick's a real artist, and Drake's just a pop star. These dorks. We'll see. We'll see over time who people remember, who people prefer, whose music is preferred. We shall see. Kendrick, the issue with Kendrick is he relied so heavily on this race nonsense, right? I'm black and even though he's a millionaire, and he's been a millionaire for a long time now, he keeps leaning on this oppression narrative and all this sort of stuff, right? It's his music. I don't think his music is going to age very well because of that, because so much of it is about that nonsense. Whereas Drake, all he's ever rapped about is his personal life, his love affairs, his friends, what it's like to be this big star and people always criticizing you, da 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 da, all these experiences he's having. That's all he ever really talked about in his music. He never pretended to be something he's not. And I think it'll allow his music to age very, very gracefully. All his albums are still on the charts as we speak. Every single one of them are still on the charts and are being listened to daily. And I think that'll persist indefinitely. Whereas with Kendrick, I think he has good songs. I'm not going to say he has no good songs or anything like that. He is talented. But I don't think he's going to enjoy the same shelf life. I think most of his songs, because they relied so heavily on this race narrative, this oppression narrative, I think over time, people will get tired of it and move on. But we'll see. Could be wrong. And I can admit when I'm wrong. I don't mind. Let me know what you think in the comments, of course. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know I like to pray then on my videos. Dear Father God, thank you for this individual watching us right now. Thank you for making them whole, unique, and guiding on a path towards peace, prosperity, and purpose. Thank you for blessing this person with wonderful people in their life who love them, take care of them, bring the absolute best out of them. And thank you for maintaining the ones that are there to do the same thing. Thank you for blessing this person with love and marriage and sustaining their love and marriage and making very, 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 very happy. Thank you for blessing this person with the spirit of gratitude so that they can give thanks for the wonderful things in life. And by giving thanks, they can find peace, contentment, and attract even more blessings. Good health. Let your presence be felt in this person's life so they know that you're God, that you real, that you love them, always going to be there for them. Good health, long life, and happiness. And for this person, everyone they care about. In my name, I pray in Jesus' name, I pray. Amen, 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 amen.